Hello everyone and welcome to another Getting Stuff Painted, my bi-weekly give or take look at the various models that have been getting painted for the channel, for the games we cover, and it's quite an eclectic mix again this time around. I think it's been like 9 days since the last one. Been trying to get a lot of stuff done. Took a little bit of a break from making videos over Christmas, so that gave a bit of extra time as well. And today for you we do have some Batman miniature game, we have some Star Wars Legion, we have some Blood Bowl, a whole heap of Monsterpocalypse that you may have already seen in the most recent battle report that went live, plus a couple of extras. And then finally, just one little bot war on the side. Again, all the B's, for whatever reason. Batman, Blood Bowl, bot war, Monsterpocalypse if you spell it incorrectly, etc. So, we shall start at the left and go right. Starting with two miniatures from the Batman miniature game. This is Clock King. Oh, and as always, everything painted with contrast, more or less. And we can go over the colours used. So this is Clock King. It's based on his very, very classic cheesy look. He's supposed to have a bunch of clocks painted onto his leotard or whatever this is. I wasn't going to risk trying that. Do not have a steady enough hand or the skill required. So I settled for the ones he has on his face and his belt. And I wish they'd based his design on the Clock King from the Batman animated cartoon from the 90s. I quite liked his design. It was simple. It was just a brown business suit and he had like weird glasses that had clocks on them. It was neat, and he had a weird looking cane, but I guess that's Riddler's thing. But either way, I wish they kind of went with that look, but this is from Night Model's line of doing like the cheesy, stupid heroes. Kite Man, Gentleman Ghost. If you hear that, it's my dog scratching herself. Who else? Condiment King, Killer Moth, you know, all the dumb villains. That's the range of dumb villains. Oh, and Calendar Man as well, but they did like classic Calendar Man, so he looks very dumb. So this is Warp Lightning, and it's the other green contrast, and I know it looks blue, but that's the point. I think it's called like Acryllian Green. It's something like that, but it's one other contrast, and it's a nice median between blue and green. And I feel like that kind of, it fitted better than just using like Talisar or one of my regular go-tos. That's Nazrag Yellow for the melting clock. Who was it that painted the melting clocks again? Was that Dali? I did a report on that in school and I don't remember. Shows what use it was. So yeah, he's on a platform. I covered it in grass because it is not a smooth fit. The resin was not great on his base. The other Batman miniature, as of this morning I finished this, so it's subject to change. This is from a while back, when the Frank Miller re-releases and new releases came out for 3rd edition. I painted the new Frank Miller Batman. I painted him in power armor as well from the comic Batman v Superman, not the movie. And then you also got Batman riding the Wonder Woman horse. It's called, well, it's more like the Thermoscua horse, or however you pronounce where the Amazons are from. Because this horse was used like way back for their releases. You could get Wonder Woman riding this horse, you could get her mother riding this horse, or whoever her tutor is. This is like, it's the one horse mold that Night Models continues to use. Bunch of Black Templar black, some of Basilicanum Grey as well, and just a little bit of Nazrag Yellow for the gold. Not the best finish. I don't think you're going to see much use of this on the table, but because I prefer the power armor personally. But you are going to see this being used on the next battle report, which makes Batman exceptionally quick, but the horse only has 4 health, so it's pretty easy to get knocked off of it. The horse gets startled, I guess, and that is subject to change because I literally did just finish that earlier today, so I might try and touch it up a little bit. We'll see, but as I say, I much prefer the power armor. So next, we have finally getting started on things from the starter box for Star Wars Legion. We have the Luke and Vader that come in that. So this is like early on Luke once he gets the blue lightsaber, whereas the other one I painted was Return of the Jedi Luke when he had the green lightsaber and the black suit, etc. So this was, what did I use for his robes for this? It was Skeleton Horde, with, I think this was Known Oil on top. Talisar blue for the lightsaber with a little dry brush on top just to try and make it look like it's sparking a little bit. And then also used that on his arms to try and create a vision of the saber glowing. And that's the Mohold Mud or whatever it's called that I mentioned last time. Again, just you let it dry and it cracks like that and it looks great. You can add grass tufts, but I ran out. There might be one on there in the future. I'm waiting on them arriving. And then Don't really need to go over Darth Vader. Painted him in exactly the same way as I painted the other one. I like this pose much better. He's doing his force choke, and it did also mean because he's holding his saber down there, the glow's got to be in different places. So it was a nice little experiment. I did the glow the exact same way I described last time. Well, was it the last video or the one before? Either way, you can go back and check that to hear the colours. But yeah, painted exactly like the last one. Much prefer that one. From what I hear, people prefer the other one. Like the pose of the other one where he's like swinging his lightsaber. It looks a bit weird to me, the pose. Either way, just 2 more of the necromantic team for Blood Bowl done. This is the other werewolf. The first one was in the last video. Same colour scheme for his armour, or team uniform I guess you could say. But also, this is, what colour did I use? Space Wolves Grey contrast for his skin tone, which is as close as I could get to match the box, with Agraxor shade over everything once everything was applied, and the same colours used for his uniform, etc. as described. Slowly but surely getting through the Blood Bowl team. Not sticking in any one theme, we're kind of going all over the place again, but I like the variety. And this is the first ghoul of the team. They're in the official colour scheme, they both have different colours of skin. I think I'm just going to go with the Space Wolves Grey for both because I feel like it fits. He's got a pumpkin on his head. He is really tall, but he's hunched over so much it's not as obvious, but he is really tall. And that's snakebite leather on his arm bracer thing. And all the other colours used for the teams. I like this guy just because he's got the pumpkin on his head. It's fun. So that's that. 2 more down. That is, how many in total? 6 of 14. Although you don't need all 14 because you can't field all 14. So from the Monsterpocalypse, Monsterpocalypse battle report, you will have seen the 2 big monsters and the units for U-Corp, and 2 of these, but I did paint another elite. We'll just quickly go through the minions. Space Wolves Grey, or blue, or whatever the contrast is called. The Gryph-hound orange, Leadbelcher silver, and a wash of non oil over everything for all these. Same again, but different colour scheme for the basic one, just to make the elite stand out a little bit more. They've got more orange on them. 1 itty bitty repair truck, bringing to a total of 2 painted. Exact same colour scheme as well, which also matches how I did Defender X back in the day. Before we do the U-Corps, we also have Terracan. Not as happy with how he turned out. I was hoping it would turn out as well as the giant T-Rex for Gotham City Chronicles. It's Militarum green, it's Wildwood brown, snakebite leather, and a lot of Agraxor shade. It looks okay. Oh, and some Vulpus pink for his mouth as well. It looks okay, but it didn't turn out as well as I'd hoped. And I had no idea prior to that test battle report in which he was used, he relies heavily on his faction units because they buff him, he buffs them. So he didn't get a fair showing, I feel, just because you need his faction with him. They have arrived. I managed to find them relatively cheap, but the struggle for finding units for Monsterpocalypse, not the monsters themselves, but the units, cheap, is so difficult. This is AA8 bot. I used Apothecary White Contrast for all the U-Corp stuff, then a little bit of Blood Angels Red for all the red bits, Nazrag Yellow for the gold, Leadbelcher Silver for the silver parts, and then Null Oil over the top, which gives them that kind of worn, beaten up look that I prefer to like sparkly clean. And the Elite Tank, which is this one, has a little bit more red on it than the other ones, but it's just basic. Tried to copy the official colour scheme as best as I can. I like that they kind of look like they're hovering, but they're not. That's thanks to the clear bases, I think. So there's 3 of these basic ones, and they all came together with AA8 bot in a box, separate from Mecha Maxim, which is the big monster, who also appeared in the most recent battle report, and is a robotic evil corporation version of an existing hero that's kind of a parody of Ultraman. So exactly the same colours used for him with some Black Templar thrown in. It got pointed out, I previewed this on Twitter and someone pointed out, oh, that's nice, it looks like he's wearing a tie. I can't unsee that now, which has ruined the miniature forever. So I probably shouldn't have said that, because now you won't be able to unsee it either, but It's a cool mini. I like the mini. I can't unsee the tie now, but besides the tie, it turned out pretty well. There's how the back looks as well. Yeah, he's fun, and I like the idea of an evil corporation that's so evil they'll side with aliens and Cthulhu monsters and whatnot, just to be evil. And then one last miniature to talk about this week. We have, from Bot War, not Ultra Magnus, although Ultra Magnus was very clearly the inspiration for this character, which is why I bought him, because I like Ultra Magnus from the original cartoon. He is, I think his official name is Chopper, and he's not a Valiant. He is a Trasher, which is like the Junkion parody faction. So he can work with the Valiants, but there's some special rules that we'll see next time Bot War gets played. I mostly got this just because I like Ultra Magnus. That is Talisar Blue, Blood Angels Red, Lead Belcher Silver, Black Templar with a little bit of the orange and yellow as well, and non-oil over the top. He has like a boat steering wheel on the back, which is definitely not in keeping with Ultra Magnus, but from the front it's okay. I will say this is an entirely metal miniature, it's not any of their new resin ones. He was a pain to put together and hold together. It just would not stay. It would Abaddon's arms syndrome. I'm surprised it kind of stayed together still. I'm not sure if that will go forwards like that, but I do love the miniature. Not as keen on the pose, but hey. And I made his axe look like Prime's, just because. So that is going to do it. What you're going to see next time, you are going to see more of the Necromantic team being done. The new releases for Batman Miniature Game will be arriving, so hopefully see those. She-Hulk for Marvel Crisis Protocol, almost certainly. Might do a separate painting video on that. I got a request to do some painting videos again, and I think I've found a compromise for using this camera and doing it, but it will need to be tested, so we'll see. And other than that, I'm not sure. Again, kind of going backwards and forwards, not sticking with any one thing. I like variety, especially for doing these update videos. If you want to show me what you've been painting from your pile of grey shame, and it's a perfect time to do it with lockdowns happening again all over the place. Don't sit there and do nothing and get caught up worrying about everything. Crack out paint and just paint. It's really, really relaxing. I say that genuinely. It's so relaxing once you get going, just painting a miniature. Enjoy it, that's what they're meant for. And if you paint anything, show me on Twitter, @GamerEND. I will look at them, I will enjoy seeing miniatures being painted. And with that said, thank you for watching. I shall see you in about 2 weeks for another update. Until then, ta-ta for now.